Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Survival School series. I just stepped outside here so as not to open yet another episode in the complete dark. But at the end of the last episode, I grabbed a bunch of wood, which we're going to use to up our cooking skill in this episode. One of the reasons that I'm kind of passing some time is, as you guys know, I don't really edit my YouTube content unless there are problems, and I like to show the entire experience, except in very, 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 very rare exceptions. And we are waiting on some hides to cure and have been for a few episodes. So we're going through that process. In case you happen to just be watching this as the first one that you're watching, maybe because it's the topic you're interested in or whatever, that is what we're doing. So let's go ahead and go to the wood stove here because, oh wow, this one's 91% cured. So we're going to be able to do some stuff soon-ish. So let's see, wood matches, sure. Book, sure. Cattail head, accelerant, you know what, sure. I normally don't use this much accelerant, but just for the sake of expediency and getting the episode going, let's do that. And then, of course, we got a bunch of wood. I'm going to throw all of this, including the... Actually, yeah, I'll put the Roaring Torch for sure. And Survive the Outdoors I'm going to keep on me until I need to start a fire with it. Okay, so now that we've got that, we not only can get additional water, which I believe oh, no, I don't. I'm good. Never mind. Don't need more water. But I do need to cook the rest of this stuff. Oh, I thought I was opening the door. Give me a second. Give me a second. There we go. There's the door. So apparently I'm not as good at feeling my way around in the dark as I thought I was. All right, so let's pick all of this up.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
But you're gonna walk anyway. Holy crap, I forgot how much moose meat there was. Oh, I can't move. But yes, I can. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, we're making progress. And that's the bear meat, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm carrying a ton of meat. It's a little bit ridiculous. Wow, this is how slowly I'm moving forward. I'm gonna have to drop some. We're gonna drop, about that much meat. We'll come back and cook some more in a second. The only thing is that the condition on that's going to drop while I do all this cooking, so I want to try and get this done quickly. So again, note that when I do cook this meat, the condition on the items will go up, which is quite nice. I will need to drink some water soon as well, so I'll keep an eye on that. Cooking skill is going to go up fantastically while we're passing some time here with this fire. We're probably going to be cooking through the night. Right now, because of my skill level, each cooking takes about 20 minutes-ish. Here, we can just watch it. That started at 45. Now it's at 35. There you go. Right around 20, 21 minutes. Okay, so after this one, I'm going to need to take a drink and probably eat a couple of these moose steaks, which is good because I need to free the weight. And yes, by the way, oh, there, cooking level 2. Very nice. That was fast. Yes, when you eat these items, the weight, the 2.2 pounds goes away completely. It doesn't there's no digestive weight system in the Long Dark, in case you were curious. There's nothing, once you consume something, it is no longer weighing you down. You don't have to worry about how much it weighs inside your body. That's a small caveat, but I'll mention it nonetheless. And again, one thing I would like to do once I'm done cooking all this is go back out and visit the bear carcass, that thing, and see if it actually has any meat left on it. It might not even be there anymore, frankly, because carcasses only last a certain amount of time out in the wild. The prop carcasses will be there until the end of time. The deer carcasses, for instance, that just lay around waiting for you to harvest them. But carcasses of actual kills, player kills, will not stick around forever. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay. And we've got a few, looks like, deer steaks on us to cook. Still plenty of time on this fire. We probably will need to get more water when done. To tell you the truth, this is so much cooking that we might get close to halfway, if not more than halfway, to cooking level 3. This is a lot of cooking in a short period of time. This reminds me of Against All Odds Season 4 being on top of Timberwolf Mountain when I was cooking all that tea and coffee so that I had consumables. Because I was carrying so much down from the top of Timberwolf Mountain. This is a fun story, actually. I was carrying so much down from the top of Timberwolf Mountain that I had to turn a lot of my cookable items into consumables. So cookable tea, cookable, again, coffee. It's, hang on, let me check my calories really quickly. Calories. 1588. Yep, I can eat one. And the reason I did that was it converted it into, it made them heavier because it turned them into food items, but then I could slowly consume them, which was nice. All right, so we have some raw rabbit meat and some cooked deer steaks. There's all that. And here's some of the bear meat that hasn't been cooked yet.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
You will be okay. You're going to walk really slowly, but you'll be okay. There's still all of this meat on the floor somewhere. Oh, hello, as I get turned around. It's like right under me by the door. I can kind of see it and kind of not.
Can't move.
Yeah, I physically can't move. That's how much I'm carrying. Good God. All right, let's drop the, tell you what, let's drop the highest condition meat. So we're going to sort this way. Once you are over double encumbrance, you are physically unable to move. In case you're wondering what the limit was for that, like at what point you physically can't move anymore, that's the point. Whatever your current maximum weight is, double it, and that's when you will not be able to move because you are carrying too much. Anything short of that will just slow you down perpetually. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and add this firewood, and that will free up some of our encumbrance. Also give us plenty more time on the fire. Sun is rising. We're exhausted. Literally been cooking meat all night. What a way to live. But seriously, this is... If this were in like an Against All Odds season, which I wouldn't be playing on Voyager if it was, but if this were like an actual playthrough, this food would allow me to live in Mystery Lake for, gosh, weeks. At least 2 weeks of gameplay. Of game days, I think, at least from this moose meat. Because it's 900 calories. And remember, the caloric value of the meat that we cook goes up the higher our cooking skill is. So the higher the cooking skill goes, the more the food can feed us. And the better off we are. All right, we're passing plenty of time right now, which is nice. Still cooking. We will still be able to cook when exhausted, so I'm going to keep doing it. I will need to go ahead and drink some water, as well as make some more water soon. All right, let me go ahead and drop some of this meat outside, because I can. How's the... All right, black bear hide is 15% cured, fresh moose hide is 47% cured, the rabbit pelt is cured! I think we might need one more rabbit pelt for the rabbit skin mitts, though. But at least I can talk a little bit more about crafting this episode, which is what I would like to do. And that's also probably in the episode title. Hopefully you saw that. Alright, so let's put all that down. That's all cooked. We've picked up everything else. So now I can step back inside, pick up the rest of the stuff that's not cooked, cook it, put it outside, and be done with this nonsense. Let's go ahead and grab that cured rabbit pelt while I'm walking by it. I'm not sure if any guts are cured. Those might still be curing. Which is fine. We can wait. Okay, I'm going to be really curious to see what our cooking skill is when we're done with this. And also, I don't know if this fire is going to quite last through the rest of the meat. That is a shocking amount of meat. Don't say it, Hadrian. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Everybody's thinking it. You don't have to say it. Just hold it in. Okay. I did it. I did it, guys. hour and 30 minutes left. I think maybe we will have enough time left on this. So notice we are fully exhausted now. We are losing, looks like, a little bit of condition due to being exhausted. So I talked about this earlier in the series. It barely affects your condition loss. It's a very, very slow drop, but it does affect it. So just something to be aware of. Okay, yeah, this fire is not going to last us. We don't have enough time on this thing. So I'm just going to have to make another fire later. That's a shame. I really wanted to get through all of that and just be done with it, so we're not going back and forth still trying to cook all that meat. But at least we have enough cooked now to where we can definitely survive as long as we like. One thing that would have been good to do at the end of that fire was probably get a little bit more water, but I was really determined to get that meat cooked. So just explaining my rationale there. Typically, if you were playing for survival, especially if you're a newer player, and you want to make sure that you make the right decisions, you generally want to, you know what? I'm going to put all the cooked meat on one pile. I don't know why I did a second pile. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh my god, so slow. So, generally, if you are a new player, you would want to have all this meat cooked as soon as possible. That would be what you want to do. Okay, so there's that. And you would definitely want to, I think what I was talking about was the water. You would definitely want to make sure that you got water from that fire. But for now, I think we're okay. Let's drop a little bit more. We're not even going to be encumbered anymore when we wake up, which is nice. Let's see, we are at 1,700 calories. I'm going to go ahead and eat this moose meat. I think we'll have a little piece of it left. Like a little, yeah, 251 calories of it, which is not bad. So let's step back inside here, and we're going to rest. We're going to need water when I get up, but this is all good because it's stuff that will pass additional time while waiting for some of these items to cure. Let me very quickly, before I rest though, let's take a look at the workbench. The rabbit skin mitts require 4, not 1, not 2, but 4 cured rabbit pelts. Dang. Okay, well we've got more rabbits to catch, but deerskin boots require 2 deer hides, so I haven't made these items in a really long time, I confess, and I had forgotten how many hide were required. We've got plenty of guts. We're good on guts, but we're going to have to do more hunting. But that's fine. We'll talk still about the workbench before the episode's over, because I think I've got enough. Let's see. Yeah, especially once the moose hide is done crafting, we'll be able to talk. Maybe we won't be able to talk about the workbench, at least with demonstrations by the end of the episode, but we're getting there. So one thing I do want to talk about this episode, I got a comment from someone asking to talk about, I think, 2 topics. Number one, the main thing in the comment was, let's talk about, hang on, let's rest while I gab. The main part of the comment was, could you talk about gathering emergency supplies in the long dark, like when you need to kind of hunker down for a blizzard? And then the second thing, the second thing was, how do you know how much of each item to carry? And those are, we got an aurora outside, very nice. And those are very good questions. Let me go ahead and drink a little bit more water. I need more firewood, but because we have an aurora, going out and getting more wood right now will not be difficult. So I will go ahead and do that. We also have lots of deer outside that I can kill anytime I need to, because I've got the rifle, so probably next time we have daylight and I'm well rested, I will do some of that. So when it comes to knowing how much you carry of each thing, first of all, it does depend on, there's no one set of rules. It does depend on the player. I believe when we were talking about inventory management last episode, I talked about I generally carry 2 flares. You might decide that you want to carry just 1 flare on you at all times. You might decide you want to carry 3 or 4 for safety's sake. You might not like having as much food on you at a given time, or having as much clothing on you. It really comes down to player preference, but beyond that, it comes down to experience. I can't really offer you an answer, not only because it comes down to preference, but because you will know from experience, based on what you are about to attempt in the long dark, as far as whether you're going to go out and look for something to hunt, whether you're just going to go out and forage for some rose hips or whatever it might be. All right, so this is 4 for firewood. It's not bad. That passed an hour right there, helping those hides along while they cure. Starting to get colder.
Something's gotta go.
Relax, Mark. All right, 1 more hour. Weather might get worse here. Let's see. All right, so that's probably enough firewood to finish our cooking. Let's go ahead and do that. So that's a general commentary on how much to carry of each item. I mean, are there any more? Let me go inside and I'll think a little bit more about that question before I finish answering it. And then we'll talk about hoarding supplies and some rules of thumb there. Which is kind of a more intermediate topic. Not an advanced topic by any means whatsoever. But worth kind of discussing. Not only, you know, me in the video, but also you guys in the comments. Offer your own perspectives on it. Because this topic also will be kind of player specific as far as what some people do and what some people don't do. Okay, so this, I believe, is the remaining uncooked meat. Thankfully, I can still move. I can actually move a good bit. Okay, so we finally have relatively little meat left to cook. You can tell because it's not slowing me down. All right, so it looks like this, yeah, this deer hide is cured, and I have some other deer hide. So I have enough to make some items. Definitely. We just need more. We need a total of 6, so I need 3 more, actually. I think. No, 5 deer hides. So I need 2 more. All right, so I'm not going to use accelerant this. Well, yeah, why not? We'll get more lamp oil if I fish some more. We'll use a book to start the fire. Wood matches, cattail head. Go. Again, you're not going to use accelerant all the time. Okay, so before I get back to cooking this stuff, yeah, we talked about this during inventory management. A little bit of the answer to the question of how much you carry of each item. It does come down to experience, but it also just comes down to going through on a regular basis and thinking in terms of, you know, I've got 7 tinder plugs right now. Do I need 7 tinder plugs? I have those tinder plugs because I went out and got them from wood, but I've got these cattail heads on me. So kind of thinking in terms of what are your basic needs. You need to be able to start fires at any point. So you're going to need matches. You're going to need some tinder. You're going to need a way to get wood, if not wood on you like I've got right now. It depends. But you're going to need, of course, food and drink to survive whatever trip you're making when you head out. You're going to need clothing that suits the weather. Once you answer those questions, it generally provides you with an inverse answer to the question of what you need to drop, what you need to get rid of, or at the very least, leave behind. So let's discuss more in the comments if there are any like more specific rules of thumb. But I really do feel like it comes down to the player and it comes down to experience, honestly. Like I didn't read a guide at any point playing the Long Dark in the past saying this is how many I carry of a given item. Over time, I am a bit of a pack rat. I tend to carry more than most players, but I've actually learned to do more inventory management in recent chunks of I guess you could say, in recent like sagas of gameplay. You know, collections of hours that I've played in different campaigns. I don't carry as much as I used to. I do a little bit more inventory management each time. But I never, at any point, read a guide that says, here's how many you should have of each item. There is no such guide. It really depends on the situation and depends on the player. So that's that. And as far as hoarding supplies for a blizzard, first of all, let me just say, or not just a blizzard, but really for long-term survival, like how do you hoard supplies? What are some good strategies? And we're going to talk about this more in the final episodes of the series because I want to talk about specific long-term survival strategies, including my long-term survival strategy, which is nomadic. And I really believe that one of the best ways to play the Long Dark, it's not the only way to play the Long Dark, but one of the best ways to play the Long Dark is to keep moving at all times. And you have to keep moving if you're playing on higher difficulties like Interloper or even Stalker. You have to be constantly moving because, well, you just have to be. There's very little... Let me go ahead and get some water. I'm going to lose a little bit of condition, but I'll be okay. So there's very little reason for you to hunker down, especially in early game runs on high difficulty in the Long Dark, because you don't have enough supplies. You probably don't have clothing yet. You probably don't have a good source of food. You might have found a rifle that will last you a while, but the thing is, until you have like a bow and arrow with a bunch of arrows, you really don't have a guaranteed long-term survival strategy. And until you are settled somewhere near where you can go to the forge and make more arrowheads if you need to, which technically you will never need to as long as you, well, that's not true. Eventually you will lose all of your arrowheads because you will fire arrows and not be able to retrieve them for various reasons. But even when an arrow breaks, you can get the arrowhead back. So as long as you have the tools that you need, as long as you have the arrowheads forged, you don't have to go back to the forge that much, but still, and yeah, I'm going to cook everything in my inventory too, because why not? It's all cooking skill. It takes some time to open these. Oh yeah, that's right. I knew I was forgetting something. I've got to drink that water, which I'll do now. So anyway, when it comes to stocking up on stuff, you generally have to keep moving when you're playing the Long Dark. And so you are not going to be in a position to stockpile when playing the Long Dark for, I would say, at least 10 hours of gameplay, if not a lot more. Unless you're playing on a lower difficulty level, stockpiling is something that you just won't have the luxury of doing. So be mindful of that. That being said, I think one of the best ways to kind of arrange and stockpile the stuff that you have that you're not carrying is to find a space like we're in now, or like the Quonset in Coastal Highway, like the Mystery Lake camp office. Places that have lots of shelves where you can be actually a little bit organized, and you can drop your stuff on the ground, and then you can, right click on it and lift it up and start moving items. And for the Xbox, by the way, that's left trigger. It's not, rather than clicking, it's just left trigger to place items, I think. I don't know if there's a different button for picking up the item. You guys can let me know in the comments, because I don't play this on Xbox One. And I imagine it's the same trigger on the corresponding button, obviously different controllers, but the corresponding button on PlayStation 4. I actually don't own a PS4, so I don't even know what they changed about the controllers. I imagine it's still a PlayStation style controller, right? I know there's a touchpad in the middle or something. I don't know how often that gets used by gamers, but I know it's there. Okay, so we're almost done cooking everything. And I want to see how much cooking skill we've gotten out of this. Yep, there we go. Cooking level 3. 15% extra calories from any cooked food item. No calorie loss when smashing open cans. Hey, that's pretty cool. Cooking times reduced by 10%. I had forgotten about that. That's nice. So at some point, you really no longer need can openers. I can drop my can openers now. I just don't need them. So, and that's an important thing to keep an eye on, of course, when you are playing the Long Dark. All right, I'm sorting by weight because I want to eat the heaviest items first. And I want to eat the rabbit meat next. You know what? Speaking of making good use of fires, let's go ahead and get some water from this. And we'll see how these deer hides are doing. Next episode, we're going to be able to craft some deer hide items. It's happening, finally. Anyway, what else about forwarding items? I mean, you definitely want to have the right space, first of all. So the most important thing is finding a good base of operations, and really being confident that you are in a central location that you can come back. Okay, I see some cured guts. They're slightly darker than the uncured ones, so you can tell they're cured. So yeah, you definitely want to find a base where you can come and go as you need and get to various resources pretty quickly. The Mystery Lake Camp Office is actually, and we've been there in this series, so I don't mind kind of talking about it directly, is actually a very good option for long-term settlement if you want to stay in the Mystery Lake area and you have the gear to do it, because you've got fishing huts nearby, you've got deer nearby, you've got wolves nearby, so that's an additional source of meat, even though it will give you intestinal parasites if you have too much of a, if you have a diet of carnivores, that's what'll happen. You know, this deer hide is almost done. I may actually be able to craft this episode. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So, tell you what, let's, well, let me first drink. because I need to get rid of some weight. But yeah, the most important thing is finding a good base, and then it's just a matter of being organized. And beyond that, I would... this is the long dark. Like, yes, you need to be nomadic. Yes, you need to be... You need to be constantly moving and finding as many things as you can all the time. Oh yeah, that's right, the workbench, actually. All right, so we've got 2 cured deer hides now, which is nice. Because the workbench... Or because it's nighttime, we will not be able to do this. So hang on. Let me drink this. And I want to show you some crafting before we finish here. Let's just pass some time for, say, 6 hours. God knows we've got enough food and water to starve. But yeah, you should be nomadic in the long dark. Or not to starve, to not starve is what I mean. You should be nomadic, and you should absolutely, be hoarding as many things as you possibly can. I mean, I really think as long as you can afford to carry it and bring it back to your base and put it down and put it among your supplies, a lot of items in the game are worth holding on to. You just saw an example of things that you can let go of after a while, like if you have level 3 cooking, you probably don't need to pick up a can opener. And so that's a good survival strategy because can openers are half a pound. So when you are already carrying a lot, half a pound items can add up. Knowing that you no longer have to pick them up when you find them can be helpful. All right, let's see if I can sleep until dawn. I don't think it's going to be like an hour before dawn when I wake up, I think. Yeah. No, not the bench. Bed. There we go. Let's sleep for 3 hours.
I could eat
It's
anything.
time to start crafting. Yeah, you could eat anything, and you're going to eat anything. You're going to eat right now, as a matter of fact. There's that, and before I craft, it doesn't matter, but I'm still going to go outside really quickly and put this meat down. Got some daylight coming in. I'll think more in between episodes. I'm not quite satisfied that I've discussed at length this topic of I mean, I've been doing some other things at the same time too, so of course I haven't discussed it at length, but the topic of hoarding supplies and kind of gathering supplies for long-term survival. It's really just a matter of, I think being nomadic is the #1 answer. Just really stay moving. I'm looking at some old man's beard right now, making sure you harvest that stuff when you find it. I'm going to go ahead and craft this old man's beard lichen, because I said I would do that last episode, I think, and I didn't. So there's that. But let's step inside here. Yeah, we'll talk more next episode, and probably more before the end of the series about long-term survival strategies and resource hoarding, stuff like that. Oh wow, 99% cured for that fresh deer hide. Okay, well in that case, hang on. Let's sleep for an hour, and that might be done when we wake up. And if it's done, we can make pants, I think. 99% cured. Okay, hang on. Rest for 1 more hour. It's got to be ready when I wake up. There we go. So we have 3 cured deer hides. Let me pick up some cured guts. 4. So this is our workbench. Been waiting to talk about this for 2 or 3 different episodes, and we still have more hunting to do to make more of these items. But for now, notice that the game is giving me check marks by the items that I can craft. I can make deerskin pants, and I can make deerskin boots. Deerskin, ooh. See, deerskin boots actually would be a better boost right now. But see, they'd be less restrictive on my movement, but they're not that much better. Yeah, they would be less restrictive on my movement, but they're not that much better than the boots I'm already wearing. But the deerskin pants, however, are a lot better than jeans. So let's go ahead and make deerskin pants. That's kind of the decision you have to make sometimes when you're going to be crafting something. So here's the main reason I keep saying I want to show you how to do this, because this is a mistake that I still make from time to time, including in YouTube series where everyone can watch and see how much of an idiot I'm being. When you are crafting things, notice when you're using the workbench, it's not like these items down here where you can just hit begin crafting and be done. Deerskin pants are a project, man. They take 12.5 hours, and you have to say each time you sit down to work how much time you're going to devote to making that particular item. So in this case, let's go ahead and spend 6.5 hours right off the bat. We're going to use sewing kit. Notice that our thirst is dropping dropping at a normal pace, really. This is the way it typically is. All right, so now we have 6 hours remaining, and we do have an item in our inventory that says Deerskin pants in progress. And notice that they do have a certain amount of weight. Also, we've got some clothing items I need to get rid of. I forgot about those. Good to know. Speaking of inventory management, see, I'm multitasking. I'm playing a game, I'm commentating, I'm teaching. It's even one more task than I'm typically doing. So, let's see. There's that. I do need to eat a little bit more food. Go ahead and just eat the tomato soup. It's already been opened. We're going to go back to the workbench. Now, we can't work at night, but I'm going to still work as long as I can here. We used the sewing kit. We might get through 3 of the remaining hours. Oh, wow. It's actually going to let me do it. I'm shocked. I thought that it would cut me off when the sun went completely down, but it didn't. So we now have our first animal skin item. Look how much better that is, too. Look at that difference. Huge warmth difference. A lot, I mean, wind protection, period. There's no wind protection from jeans. And a lot better protection against the elements, protection against animal attacks. More restrictive of movement, unfortunately. But check that out. We've got some deerskin pants on now. And on that note, we are 32 minutes into the episode. I will go ahead and stop this one here. Hang on. Let me drink and go to sleep as my save point. In the next one, we are probably, we might be ready to craft that moose hide item before long. But now that we've talked a little bit about crafting, I can move on to other topics as well. So again, I know I probably sound like a bit of a broken record, and it's not like I don't have my own plans on things I want to talk about. I definitely do, and we will. But this is the time for those of you who are watching the series as it comes out to let me know any other kind of beginner or intermediate level topics that you want me to talk about before I move on towards like episodes, say 13, 14, 15-ish. Because we're at the workbench. I need to be at the bed. Where's the bed? Bed? Where am I even? I don't even know where I am in this house. Right. Backpack. Okay, there's the backpack, which means the wood stove is here. Maybe. Wait, is that the table? Okay, wait. Wait a second. No, that's the door. I seriously don't know where I am in this cabin. Okay, here we go. Bed, bed, bed. There we go. Crap. Anyway, yeah. Before I get to like episode 13, 14, 15, and we start covering topics that are more long-term and that are a little bit more abstract, that aren't going to be as much part of this campaign that we've been playing as part of this series, I want you guys to let me know anything else you might want to see before that point. So do let me know in the comments. And it is still super dark. Holy crap. I'm just going to light a lantern so that we can see each other before I close. Oh, cool. Got some cured guts there. Fresh moose. Oh, yeah. This is probably going to finish curing next episode, so we'll be able to make a moose hide satchel. And we have lots of cured guts over here and almost cured guts, so those are in great shape. I totally forgot about the bear corpse, that thing. Probably not going to worry about it. I think I've got enough food. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.